Don't forget to subscribe.
When Johnetta Burnett's daughter passed away, she immediately took over the care and custody of her daughter's 5 children. Retired and on a fixed income, Johnetta didn't know how she would make ends meet or get her grandchildren to 2 different schools.
I ain't got nobody else, like no family member, nobody really helped me. But since they came, it's like family. I know. They support me with the kids' uniform. I didn't have it. Something to eat, I didn't have it. For Christmas, they did. And I felt very blessed because when they came to me, they had nothing.
She's talking about the Family Resource Distribution Center. It's a place where families in the Detroit Public Schools Community District can receive resources such as school supplies, coats, water, dry goods, and hygiene products for free.
It's been a struggle, a real struggle. But when you got support, that's a big help. It is. Sorry, I'm sorry. I get emotional, sorry. Because I miss my daughter. And you got support and make it easier. When you don't, nobody is hard.
The Family Resource Distribution Center is one of the steps the Detroit Public Schools Community District is taking to reverse a rise in chronic absenteeism. Research from the school district shows the reasons students miss class is often beyond their control, but instead may have more to do with their families not having stable access to resources that will help them get their children to school. The need was already great in Detroit and has been exacerbated by the pandemic.
I mean, Detroit is such a massive district. There is such a big need. If there wasn't a resource like this, it would be a lot harder because in my experience as a social worker, I've had to send families here and there and every which place to, to get the things that they need, whether it's food or clothing or even, emergency support after some sort of something terrible happens. And a lot of times it's very inconvenient. A lot of times they, might have to go out of their way when transportation might be limited, things like that. So this is a great resource.
Huge, bigger than we really can see, because although we think it's hundreds and thousands of students that need help, a lot of them don't tell us, so we don't know if they need them or not. Even if we go to their houses, some of them won't admit that they need the help. So we don't know exactly what number it is because we only know the people that we help.
The fact that there are some that don't like to admit they need help doesn't stop people like Effie Harris. Harris is one of the attendance agents at Gompers Elementary School in Detroit.
Morning, middle school. Okay, Mr. Walker, you want to do 2 doors?
As part of her job, she arrives early and greets each and every student, many by name.
Good morning, Janaya.
Harris is part of a team that connects with students and identifies why they're absent from school. And that's not all.
What's wrong?
I'm looking for the number, her room number.
I know, what's wrong?
Kids being tardy to school, if it's excessive, you want to find out why. You're investigating early pickups. If kids are leaving school early, you want to find out why. And of course, when kids are not in school on a regular basis. So that's the gist of what I do.
Mom, how are you? I need to speak. Yeah, you're going to do his pack this morning.
It can start off with a phone call home to say, Mom, Dad, so-and-so has not been here. What's going on?
That phone call home is often an uncomfortable conversation, but in the end, it's about finding a solution, even if it means providing resources for the parent in the form of transportation, school uniforms, even paying bills. Parents like Gloria Van Hooser.
Every day is honestly a struggle. I have 5 kids. I have 18, 15, and then we go on to the younger ones. So we have different schools, different work schedules. Mornings are pretty hectic. I have a horrible time sleeping, so I have, throughout all this is kind of what finally opening up to Miss Harris got me to the things I was lacking, and I was trying to be Superwoman, creates a lot of overwhelmed things, which cause stress, depression, sleep things. So I was neglecting myself. When I finally opened up to her, she told me I needed to focus on myself and, take care of me.
The Detroit School District is also out in the community discussing the problem in forums like this town hall that was open to the public. Superintendent Dr. Nikolai Vidi explains the numbers and the progress made before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic, we improved average daily attendance by about 2 to 3 percentage points, and we reduced chronic absenteeism by 8 or 9 percentage points. So it can be done, and we did it. The pandemic hit, and it just disrupted the normal flow of attendance. So this past year, so this would have been the 21-22 school year, we improved average daily attendance versus the year before by a couple of percentage points, but chronic absenteeism actually increased last year compared to the year before that when we were mainly online. So far this year, our average daily attendance is about 84% district-wide, which is a vast improvement from last year and around the same numbers before the pandemic.
The numbers seem far greater after the pandemic in terms of how many families are in need of basic resources to help get their kids to school.
Just to give you an idea of how significant the need is, when we first started a couple months ago, we started with understanding that we would have parents walk in, and so we have a couple hundred parents who just come every month now, right? We also have our attendance agents and other staff who come because they're serving parents locally at their schools, or they take things directly to the house. But it would typically take us to get through 2 semis, 3 weeks to get through all those resources. This last month, it was all gone in 3 days.
And as for caregivers like Janetta Burnett, the access to these free resources has changed her life and the lives of her 5 grandchildren.
It helped with everything: water, wash clothes, sanitizer for the kids, Q-tips, the tuna fish for the kids. See, look at all that. That's a big help. That helped me for a couple of months. You see? And they said, come once a month. So it's a good thing.
Resources are in short supply for far too many. Leave us a comment if you know of someone who needs help, and remember to subscribe and share with a friend.